But the moment BBI failed, we started experiencing mass exodus from our side. That is the time our Speaker, Wetangula, left. That is the time Honorable Musalia Mudavadi left. That is the time the Speaker of the National Assembly, within that period, left. When I saw the Speaker of the National Assembly leaving, Speaker Justin Muturi, I knew there was a problem. Because Speaker was Uhuru's best friend. Best friend, that I know. But the moment he left, I knew that there's a problem. Do you remember there's a time the now President Ruto refused to greet Speaker Justin Muturi in Parliament? He just passed him because there was a problem between the two. But after that, Justin Muturi joined Ruto. Then after that, Waiguru of all the people, Waiguru has always been perceived to be very close to the former President Uhuru. When she had a problem, the alleged corruption case and the alleged Muosho Moja at Capitol Hill, she was very close to Babu. Very close to Babu. Then out of nowhere, she just moved towards Ruto's. She went to Ruto's camp. So this tells you something, that people who were very close to President Uhuru, very close, were moving to Ruto's side, which means that there was unwritten law. There was some form of communication. There was some assurance that people were being given. Look at Alfred Mutua. Kalonzo having refused to move, but they needed some bit of Kamba votes, which they got around 100,000, although Kambas voted for Azimio largely. But that tilted the scale, because the 50% plus one was passed by around only 69,000 votes. But look at when Mutua moved towards the last minute. The last minute, which means that there was some form of communication. There's something that these people knew that we did not know. And today I'm speaking about this. Fearing nobody, fearing nothing. But because I was at the center of everything also, I must speak about it. For me to be free and for my mind to be free and for Kenyans to know what I'm thinking. But it requires a sharp brain, a very sharp brain and intellectual to know that there was a game going on. Then, let's fast forward. There was the purported fight between the former president and the current president, Ruto. Then the fight started escalating towards elections. And it was even very nasty, to a point where the Ruto was telling Uhuru, do not kill my children. Where was that imported from? Was it necessary? But these statements were mere statements of puff. In law, they are called misrepresentation, or mere statements of puff, meant to hoodwink Kenyans, to send smoke screens that, we are genuinely fighting. That, whatever we are planning ahead, the end must justify the means. Whatever we are doing, it doesn't matter. We can equally abuse each other. We can do whatever we want to do. But the end must justify the means. But let Kenyans know that we are fighting. Because why would Uhuru and Ruto fight if in 2002 Ruto stood with Uhuru against all odds? 2013, Ruto stood with Uhuru against all odds. 2017, Ruto stood with Uhuru. And they also went to ICC together. So what is it that went wrong between the two? Nothing. After all, you are advised that if somebody fights for you so much, and if you loses, you will always owe the person. But if you win, you will reward the person. So they fought in 2002, they lost together. So which means Uhuru owed Ruto. They fought in 2013 and 2017, they won together. Which means Uhuru had to reward Ruto. What is this thing that Baba did to Uhuru that Uhuru ought to have rewarded him? Nothing. Truth be told, But you see, having known that after the 2017 elections took place, we had to go for handshake. Why? Because the economy was going down. Without peace, without peace, the economy will always go down, because the economy of a state is controlled by the political activities of that state. And the political activities of a state controls the economy of a nation or of a state. But because there were several demonstrations, the economy was down, there are no jobs, people are crying left, right, and center because of hunger. The only best thing that ought to have been done was to go for handshake, so that people can go to their various jobs, children can go to school, people can do businesses. But that is where wisdom came in already. That you, as the president, let me bring Raila close, because we cannot rule without him. So what do? I have to handshake him. The new Ruto, as the deputy president, play opposition within the government. Historically and politically, any other person who was not in line with the president of this nation was either resigning voluntarily or made to resign. But this didn't happen with the then deputy president, who is Ruto. He didn't resign, but he played opposition within the government. Then Baba, having come with clean heart, he who comes to equity comes with clean hands. That is a maxim. So Baba came with clean hands, but the other parties did not come with clean hands. The hands were hidden, and it reminds me of Adam Smith. Adam Smith said in his book that he wrote about the wealth of nations, the book called Wealth of Nations, Adam Smith said, "It is not by the benevolence of the brewer, nor the chef, nor the waiter that you get to eat your dinner, but it is by their interest attached to it." Wealth of nations. So, if you look at this, it was completely interest-based. That once I handle Baba, I will rule this country. But because I had promised you, zangu kumi zako kumi, we have to fulfill this promise. Because we have the, in quotes, purported tyranny of numbers. So what do? Agree, play opposition, me, I'm in government. Of course, I'm with Baba, he has agreed, we work together. But what do? I bring in BBI. Because Baba must also explain to his people why he's gone for handshake, what he needs for us, for his people. Then he'll have to tell his people that BBI is coming, and BBI is about inclusivity. And therefore, we are going to form the next government, because even the current government is in support of the BBI. Then the BBI comes, then fails. Then after the BBI fails, then now election campaign starts. But let me stick with you, in quotes. But when we were campaigning, of course, campaigns were going on smoothly. But if 2017 elections were stolen, and there was a proof by the fact that the Supreme Court nullified the elections, then why did we have to go back to elections with Chebukati as the chairman of IBC? Why did we have to go back with him? We proposed in Parliament to remove Chebukati as members of Parliament. But we were told, we will handle Chebukati. The same deep state, in quotes, told us, we will handle Chebukati, so stay still. So we said, okay, let's stay still. Of course, they say that there's a quote that says that if you're walking and you don't meet with the devil, know that you're going in the same direction. So indeed, we were going in the same direction. We were going in the same direction
with the devil.
With the devil.
Yes.
You see. So I can tell you that at that moment, we ought to have removed Chebukati. But again, we are being told that now, give us your IBC commissioners, give us 4 against 3. Then we produce 4, knowing very well that 4 are not powerful. The only person who holds powers there is who? The chairman. But chair is theirs. But we are convinced that we should not remove this chairman because he will deliver. Are you getting this? So, now that goes again. We go for elections. Then we are going for elections, even the polls. Scientifically, personally, I'm a scientist. I did actuarial science. I'm an actuary.
Yes.
Even got first class honors already. I believe in those polls. I know those polls. There is no any firm that can meddle with its polls because they know that they're going to lose business after that. Mm-hmm. Should the results come contrary to what they predicted.
Yes.
Okay? So, all the polls were consistently talking about Baba winning elections. Okay?
Yes.
Then there comes the deep state. On 10th, on 9th we went for elections. 10th I talked to Baba. I called Baba, told Baba that I'm seeing we are losing elections. We are losing elections. But because Baba was also told that everything is fine, Baba told me that everything is fine. We will not lose these elections. Just be confident, do not panic. We are winning elections. But through my sources, I had received information that we are going to lose elections on 10th of August. Then after that, we are at Bomas. At Bomas, tactfully, when Ruto's people were losing elections, they were conceding defeat. How fast did they know? They were just trying to send signals that, you know, our people are conceding, therefore you as Baba prepare to concede. They had already known the outcome of these results. But let me ask you, Muredi, in this country, election was done on 9th of August. By midnight, the president, the sitting president must know who is the president. How? Because we stopped voting at 6 p.m., counting starts at 6:30, and we are counting 700 ballot papers per polling station. Therefore, by 8 p.m., all 700 ballot papers are counted. And in every polling station, every polling center, first of all, every polling station there's a policeman, belongs to the government. Every polling center there is an NIS person that reports the results to the DCC. DCC reports to the regional commissioner. Regional commissioner. Regional commissioner reports to Kibicho. Kibicho reports to Matiang'i. Matiang'i to president, or Kibicho direct to president. Therefore, by 9 p.m., all results in this nation, because we start by counting the presidential ballot papers. So by midnight, the President Uhuru Kenyatta had known who won elections. Therefore, if Raila was defeated in quotes, we could still do something. Honestly, we had enough time. If Raila won, we could still protect his votes. Okay? Then intentionally, Ruto is leading as per our screens in the TVs. Then when Baba took over, when Baba was ahead of Ruto, then screens went off. No streaming of those results. So what was being done at that time? Is it not engineering or doctoring those results?
But you're saying that by 10th, you'd already known that Ruto will win this election. So where is the doctoring coming in?
I was being told, I did not know. I was informed that elections are going to be done to be in favor of Ruto. I have my sources.
So you still believe Raila won this election?
I'm telling you the truth. Raila won elections. I'm telling you the truth.
By how many votes?
Raila won elections. The only problem is that we would not know now because of the doctoring that took place. You see, I cannot say with certainty how many votes, but Raila won elections. Because election is a process. It is a process, both the qualitative and the quantitative. Now, at the time of when we were at Bomas, you remember I used to tell people results even before they get to know of it. The question should be, how did you know this? But I have to protect my sources. But I also had my deep state somewhere that was working for me, because I had invested my time, resources, energy, and even my life in that election. So I had to add my backup plan, which was giving me proper information. Now, let me ask you, before results were announced, the United States of America, the embassy, they issued travel advisory to Kisumu. Why Kisumu? They already knew what the results were going to be. Before the results were announced, before the ruling was declared by the Supreme Court, another travel advisory to where? To Kisumu, by the United Nations. Why the hurry? So what does that tell you? If Uhuru wanted Raila to win elections, number one, would Koome be the Chief Justice? No. He would leave it to Ouko, because he would tell him, okay, me, I'm leaving. I want to leave you with the Chief Justice. Ouko was overqualified. Okay, let Ouko be the Chief Justice. But why Koome? What was being planned? Are you seeing these things? Because if I'm not interested, then why should I insist on Koome? I should just leave it to who? To Ouko, in case of anything. But suppose there is Koome, then things would be protected again. Then that brings us back to again the long con. So there's a day I called Kibicho. I told Kibicho, the way things are moving, we need to act very fast. So he asked me, Babu, what do we do? I told him, Kibicho, we need to arrest Chebukati immediately for bungling elections. Do you know what Kibicho told me? Babu, wacha vita, wacha vita. Nikasema, what is happening na huyu mtu? Was this part? Was this? I'm telling you the truth. This man was supposed to be our person. Yeah. But what is happening? Wacha vita. Wacha vita. Nikamwambia, no, it is you to arrest Chebukati for bungling what? Elections. Then Cherera to announce Baba as what?
As one.
As the winner. You see. Or we go for
a rerun.
A rerun. Because the election is already being bungled. Hey, nikasema yenyewe this was a fake deep state. Aya, let me ask you, Matiang'i. Matiang'i was part of us. At what point did Matiang'i apply for the job of the United Nations, went for an interview, won and was passed, and when election results were announced, he was already called to go and work? How did he know we are going to lose elections? How did he know we are going to lose elections? You see, Muredi, all these things, these people were playing around with Babu. Me, I can tell you for sure. I tried explaining this to so many people. So many people, some of them could not believe because of probably denial. But the truth is we were played in these elections.
Were you played, or did you not plan well?
It is not about planning. If we could plan about elections, if we could campaign successfully, that was part of planning. As I told you, elections are about qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative is the campaign process. Quantitative is on the day of elections, where we are receiving the results. Because if we talk about agents, do you want to tell me Ruto had agents in all the Nyanza polling stations? Let's be honest. But even if we didn't have agents in Central Province, Central Region, from here to Central, from Nairobi to Central is how many minutes using a chopper? 10, 15 minutes. We could get in military choppers to go and be agents in Central for us. The moment we realized we didn't have agents,